brother. You got the code, man? Want the bullhorn?
Don't get in close.
You want the bullhorn, Katrina?
I've never used one of these before, so we'll see how this works. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
First of all, I want to thank everybody for coming out in this beautiful South Carolina weather. We know who's dedicated. We know who wants to know where the justice is. It's where the justice is for all the victims of violent crime. Today, what really brought it to my attention is where the justice was for Kelly Honeywell, because when I saw that she was murdered and left her 4 children, and it was only because there was nobody at the bar next door, and the criminals had to go into the bakery. And Kelly was a hard-working mother who only wanted to take care of her 4 children. And so she would go into work early every day, and so she could be home in the afternoon with her children. And the people that killed her were out on bond. I mean, where is the justice for the victims? What we do is we worry about the violent criminals. We worry about getting them back on the street. We worry about giving them bond, because we want to be fair to the criminals. But what's fair about that? What's fair to the victim? So that's what we're here for today. Now, we're not just here for Kelly, because we have other victims of violent crime. We have people like Carter Strange, who was beaten brutally in 5 points. We have people like the man who stood in his parking lot holding his 3-year-old, who was shot for no reason. We have the 4-year-old who was sitting watching cartoons in her house, and she was shot by gang members having a fight. Is that fair? Where is the justice for those people? Doesn't it make you want to ask where the justice is for those people?
Yes, that's right.
So I think it's time that you start asking. You start asking the hard questions. You ask the judges, because they have the power to keep these people behind bars. The laws are out there. So you need to ask them, why do they let these people back out on the street? Two of the men that killed Kelly Honeywell had a laundry list of crimes. Assault, battery, kidnapping, burglary. One of them's bond was actually reduced so he could get back on the street. Tell me, where is the justice? The justice was for the criminal. It was not for the victim. So today we have with us lawmakers. We have with us victims. And I'm going to let them speak to you. We have Kelly's family here. We have Kelly's children. Would y'all step up? Kelly's children. Would y'all come up so they can see who you are? Okay, there's 4 of you somewhere. But the 2 of you came. Okay, these are beautiful children that are left behind. Is this fair? Where is the justice for these children? Where is the mom going to be when these kids ask, hey mom, help me on my math test. Hey mom, what am I going to do about this boyfriend? Who are they going to ask? Where's the justice for them? So is there somebody from Kelly's family that would like to say something? Her mom wants to know why. Why? Where is she? Where's her daughter? How is that mom gonna, who's she gonna talk to when she wants to pick up the phone and call her daughter? Where's the justice for the mom? How about is one of the sisters here? You want to speak? She wants to know. I mean, I know that I call my sister every day, and I talk to her every day. She can't call her sister anymore. Where's the justice for her sister? Any of the other? You want to speak?
Just want to know why. What's going on? Where's the families at? Why was the 16-year-old, 18-year-old out that night? Where was the parents at? We're here for our kids. Why can't they be there for their kids? If we stand up and stop this, it's got to stop. These kids here, they need their mother. They don't have a mother now because they're with the mother to the other ones that killed these kids' mother. Where was their families at? It's just not right. These kids here got to wake up every day and knowing that their mother is not coming back to them. They got a chance for their family to come and see them in prison, hopefully, if they don't get let out on bond.
So where is the justice?
That's right.
That's what we need to have. Now I'm going to ask Attorney General Alan Wilson if he'll come speak to you for a few minutes and tell you some of the things that we are trying to do, because we do have, he started a victim, a violent crime task force, and I'm going to ask him to come talk to you for a few minutes, and then we have some other victims' families that are going to talk, and some other legislators and community leaders that are going to come talk to you.
Right. First off, thank you all for being here today. The fact that you're standing out here in the rain says a lot about you, but more importantly, it says a lot about the issue that we're here today to support. First off, I know we've already applauded, but we've got the Strange family represented up here. We've got the Honeywell family represented up here, and I know that standing in this audience before me today, we have other victims. Can we just give a loud a round of applause to appreciate what these families are going through and to thank them for being here today?
Woo! 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 Woo!
First, let me say this. Change does not start with an elected official. Change does not start with me, does not start with someone who serves in this building behind me. Change starts with a group of people assembled in the rain on a Saturday morning. You are out here in these conditions because you believe in something bigger than yourself. And that is the most powerful thing out here. Right now, no amount of words can tell you the importance of bond reform in the state of South Carolina. No speech that Alan Wilson or Katrina Shealy or Rick Quinn or anyone can give can tell you the importance of bond reform. Young man, would you step up here real quick? I'm not going to ask you to say anything, but you have the biggest back up here. I want you to turn around. And no bond for criminal violence. This right here is all the words, and this photograph is all you need to see the need for bond reform. Thank you. I hope someone in the media gets a copy of that shirt and shows it tonight, because it is so important that we reform our system, and not just one area of our system. It's great when elected officials give money to local law enforcement and put more cops on the street. We need more law enforcement on the street. But here's the problem. More law enforcement means more arrest. More arrest means more people stuck in jail, which puts pressure on judges to put people out on bond because they don't have beds. We need to have more prosecutors, more judges. We need to have more jail beds because we need to go clean the streets up. It's a holistic approach. I'm trying right now to work on a criminal justice reform bill that includes things like, when we go to strike a jury, why does the state only get 5 peremptory strikes and the defense get 10? There needs to be equal strikes. We need to start with an even, level playing field.
That's right.
When someone is out on bond for armed robbery and kidnapping, and they get arrested again, there should be no discretion for a judge. It should be automatic revocation. That thug should be back in jail where they belong. You're right.
That's right. That's right.
We need to do everything that we can to support not just the law enforcement community, but the prosecution community, because the criminal justice system does not end when the cuffs go on the bad guy. The criminal justice system ends when the bad guy has the door slammed in the jail slammed in his face in prison. But unfortunately, the criminal justice system never ends for the survivors of a violent crime. These people up here are never going to get parole from the pain that they feel from the loss of their loved one or for the anguish that their loved one has suffered. And so that is why I'm personally touched by the people that are up here today to support these families, and there are other families here today that have probably suffered in some way. I want to say thank you to everyone here in some small way for being out here today. We're working on a task force that's going to try to take a holistic approach, and we're going to take these thoughts, these ideas, and we're going to try to put them into action. Some of those actions might require legislative support. Unfortunately, my voice doesn't carry as much weight sometimes as yours does. You are powerful. People listen to you. What I need from you is I need for you to do in the future what you're doing today, to show up, to speak out, to be heard. Because I'll tell you right now, elected officials do listen. They do listen. They will listen to you. So when Rick Quinn or Katrina Sheila or Alan Wilson or someone else comes to you and says, we need to stand together and get behind this law, we're going to need you to pick up the phones. Each of you is a force multiplier. We're not going to continue to be victims here today, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be soldiers. Each of you is a force multiplier. You can get 5 friends to call a member of the General Assembly who's holding up a bill. Multiply this group times 5 and ask them to pick 5 friends. You start sending letters, emails, phone calls. It's amazing how good laws will get passed. The funding will get to the people who keep us safe on the streets and prosecute the thugs and keep them in prison. The resources will get to where it needs to get when you do what you're doing today. Thank you for the support that you've not only shown these families, but the support you've shown people in my line of work. Without you, we couldn't do what we do. Thank you so much for being here today, and I guess, Katrina?
Next, I want to ask Vicki and John Strange if they want to come up, because they have a very compelling story to tell, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate them and what they've done this past week to help us organize this event. And what happened to them is it's just unfair. What happened to their son is unfair. What they've gone through since it happened is unfair. And they keep fighting and fighting and fighting to get justice. And will justice ever be served in their case? Who knows? But it needs to be. And I'm going to ask Vicki, I think she's the spokesman for this group, but I want John to come up here because I want him to turn around, and I want you to see the back of his shirt because it makes a statement. And if y'all will come up here now. Johnny, turn around. This is Carter. What happened? This is Carter before, and this is what happened to Carter. And where is the justice for Carter? So I want you to listen to Vicky's story and listen good, because we need to know where the justice and when the justice will be served for Carter's drain.
Do it for me. Give me one. First, I want to thank all y'all for coming out, and especially the family. Y'all don't know how hard this is to actually leave your home and be out in public, because the first reaction.
Speak a little closer. Speak a little closer.
Come on.
You want to get your family, you want to hold them tight and keep them away from everybody anyway. The overprotective goes into overdrive. So for them to come out here and stand in the wide open for this fight is a huge thing. And for you guys to come out here in this, like you said, this great weather shows your incredible support. You have no idea what that means to the families who go through this. After having gone through something like this, I don't like politics. I never have. But we have been thrown into it and given a voice, and I'm going to use that voice to fight for my son, for the victims I've met since then. Every time, we still struggle with anger every day. And I've been called a bitter woman, I've been called an angry woman, and it's right, I am. But there's a reason, and anger can be used constructively, and that's exactly what we're going to do. I'm a preacher's kid. I struggle with my Christian walk through this whole thing, and the question why, I think that's normal for everybody. This doesn't make sense. It never should have happened. They never should have been out. 6 of the 8 boys who jumped on Carter, they were out on probation. They weren't even supposed to be out after 6 o'clock. And you know something, if it had been 2, I think it might have been more of a fair fight that night, but it wasn't. This kind of thing has to stop. And it's violent crimes. These were gang members. They should have never been out. And there's other injustices. We just found out this week, defense attorneys can get in touch and find the victim. That doesn't seem right, but it's legal. These are the things that we're going to change. Victims are going to have more rights than criminals, because I'm not going to stop until they do.
Hey! Woo!
It's going to take all of us, folks. Like I said, I'm a preacher's kid. It took 12 men to change the world, and 1 man died on the cross to change everything. There's more than 12 people standing out here today. We joked yesterday, my oldest son is standing behind my mom and dad, and we started joking about, Mom, you're not mad, you're passionate. And I said, I'm going to get me a shirt that says, I'm not mad, I'm passionate. And that's what it is. We're all going to have to be passionate, because I want y'all to look around, because at some point, one of you here is going to be a victim. And until you have to go through this process, you can never understand and know how devastating it is for families and victims and what they have to deal with. It isn't just the crime they fight, it's the court systems that make it hard to. But you can't give up. And there are days John and I want to walk away and just give up. It's hard. But when that happens, God puts another victim in our path. And we see the pain in their eyes, and we understand what they're going through. And it makes me madder, and it makes my resolve stronger, and it makes my backbone just a little bit harder. And I'm not stopping until I can make it leave. I want my son to be able to feel safe and come back to Columbia. I miss him. That's my fight. I'm fighting for these kids up here. I know how important a mama is in a son's life. I know how important a daddy is too. I'm going to fight for these kids. I'm going to fight for my friend Adrian's mother, my friend Julie's brother, and all the other victims that we've met, and we're still fighting for our son. Please fight with us. Don't get tired. Don't let life get in the way, because you never know. You might be standing in our shoes one day. And if you are, I'm going to fight just as hard for you as you're going to fight for us. God bless you, John. And thank you for coming out here.
Thank y'all so much. Now I'm going to ask Chandra Cleveland Jennings. She is a strong representative and a public advocate for what's right and how we can change things in our state and in our community. And she's going to come up and talk with you a few minutes.
What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! It's time we stop. We stop allowing people to let us be victimized over and over again. And today, with you here today, it starts now. And we want to show everybody it starts now. My law enforcement career of 20 years, each and every time, it's so hard for me to go in and talk to the victims and let them know that the rap sheet of the person who victimized their life was a mile long. It's gotta stop, and it's gotta stop now. I've tried time and time again going to a victim's house and say, no, that can't be done for you. Laws need to change for the victims as well. There's a lot of victims in this place. Not only that we have a few gathered here today, it's so many more victims, such as Gabrielle Swainson. The person who killed her should have never been out on the street. But now we made a deal with the devil, and he gets to eat 3 meals and medication for 30 years. I don't know about you, but that burns my skin to the fullest.
That's right. That's right.
We gotta stop this. We gotta stop being victims and start being in charge. Just because you haven't been the victim today, it could be you tomorrow. Will you know what to do? Will you know your rights that you have? And there's a lot of victims out there that do not know what to do in their cases. We need to start equipping them with the knowledge that they need to successfully to be able to pursue the criminals that made them victims. We have to take a stand. Today is just the beginning of many more stands to take. So I tell you, just as Katrina told you a few moments ago, get involved, tell 5 people, bring 5 people. We cannot make a change just with us alone. But my voice is so loud, God, my mom always said, you have a big mouth. And this big mouth is paying off because I'm tired of seeing victims in my community victimized day after day after day. I want to equip them with the knowledge that they need in order to defend themselves. And it starts not only today. I've been with the big mouth for a long time. I've been starting this journey for a long time, and I'm so glad that Katrina told me to speak today, because this is my opportunity to tell everybody, you can't keep us quiet. I have victims in my family, and I would not be quiet. I will not sit still and wait for the justice system to tell me what I should do. I'm going to find out on my own from someone else who knows the system so I can take care and take my life back in charge. These victims up here today, I apologize and I give you my deepest condolences. But this, being here today, is just the start. I want you to have a voice. I want you to equip yourself with a voice that every time it comes up in legislation representatives, that they have something to come up about bonds and repeat offenders, that you stand up and you say, we want justice and we want it now. We gotta stop sitting back waiting for someone else to do something for us. I'm sorry that I'm so loud and so passionate, but this really burns my system to know that the justice system is so unequal. And I need it to change. Whether it's my voice today, your voice tomorrow, but if they keep hearing it, someone's gonna listen. So I tell you, don't stop with today. Come out to every rally for justice that you see. Whether it's you, somebody you may know, or someone you don't know. Come out and stand for justice, because who knows, you could be a victim tonight. Thank you.
We should have let her spoke first. What's up with that? I see that we have some other victims here, and I was wondering if there's anybody else out there in the crowd that wants to come up here and speak on behalf of the victim. Right? Is there any? If not, I'm going to let Representative Rick Quinn, and I'm going to speak. That would be one of those.
Yes, right. Thanks, Katrina. Yeah, it is. Thanks for letting me follow her. I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that, but I will say this. A lot's been said today, and I won't reiterate it. But one thing that I'm going to do, taking from today, is it's been said often today that we need to change the laws. We need to reform the laws of our criminal justice system, and that's true. And I want to thank Alan Wilson for putting that task force together to try and get that started. But the pure and simple fact of the matter is, it is in the law now. These folks shouldn't get bond if they're a danger to the community. It's in the law right now. And as far as I'm concerned, every time I vote for one of these judges in the future, I'm going to be thinking about these faces on these signs and these children behind me who no longer have a mother. These judges, they're going to start keeping track of what they're doing. And when they keep letting these bugs out, they're going to pay the price when they come up for re-election. I can tell you that. As far as my vote's concerned, and one of the criminals had 4 violent crimes that were reduced. The bond was revoked, and he was put back on the street. That judge ought to be held accountable. That's where all that is. I'm also very sorry. I think you said that the goal should be education.
The Attorney General, I think, said he had one more thing he wants to say, but I think I have another victim that wants to say something on behalf of her daughter.
Okay, my name is Deborah Catner, and my daughter's name is Dana Baker.
Speak louder, please.
She was killed August 21st. Her accident happened last year. And the guy that killed my daughter, he has a long rap sheet also. He has 2 outstanding warrants on him right now for assault, battery, and first degree on someone else. My daughter was 23 years old. She was the love of my life. He rammed her into a tree with my car. She was on life support for 2 days. Every bone in her face was shattered. And I sat there with her and prayed to God to bring her back. But he took her from me. She was a student going to college and working part-time. She was a good girl. She was my youngest. She was my heart and soul. And it doesn't get better with time. I miss her more every day, and my life will never, ever be the same without her. It wasn't a day in my life that she didn't say, Mama, I love you. She loved me so much, it made me feel so much love. She didn't deserve it. This guy stalked her. He threatened to kill her, and he finally ran her into a tree. He had no driver's license. The hospital told me when she was on life support that he had drugs in his system, but yet no drug test was done, no blood test was done, nothing was done by the authorities. And they told me since she didn't regain consciousness to tell her side of the story, there was nothing they could do. He got charged a $250 ticket for no license. And that's it. That's all he got. He walked the street, and now he's hurt 2 other victims. And from what I understand, it's a woman and her baby. I'm not sure, but that's my understanding. It's got to stop, because our pain never, ever goes away. And I was thinking last night, this is the weekend. The last weekend, she walked out the door, and she kissed me on the cheek and said, Mother, I love you, and I'll see you no more.
while. But I won't ever get to see her again. I couldn't go back to work. I can't function. My whole world is crushed. And my family crushed were very close. Because she was a wonderful person that would do anything for anybody. And I miss her so much. I've never heard a I'm sorry from him or his family. I had to get a no trespassing on him just to have her funeral. Because he tried to ruin her funeral for me. I had to have her cremated because she was also so giving after death. She was a donor and tissue giver, and she saved so far 11 lives so far in South Carolina. It's bittersweet, but that was my Zayna. That's the way she was. She thought of us all the time. Our goals in life was to be an officer for abused animals. She loved animals. She rescued animals. She'd bring home the herd, and we'd heal them and find them homes. We still have many of them still at the house that she rescued that I will keep for her. There wasn't anything she wouldn't do, I'm just telling you. And when I begged and pleaded for a better investigation, I didn't get anything. And I know everybody thought that I'm just a mother grieving for her child. Yes, I am. But I also think she deserves the justice. I think she needs her life needs to be honored. She's a citizen. She's a believer in God, and she needed this state to do something for her because this boy is messing with trouble. He doesn't work. He carries a gun in his lap. I mean, I don't understand. And if he'd have been locked up for what he did, these other people that they're looking for now wouldn't have got hurt. And he had armed robbery charges on his record. He had other assault records of women. Never went to court for any of those charges for some reason. I have no idea why. But I appreciate you listening. And I hope you keep everyone in your thoughts and prayers. And I feel your pain. I do. I feel it every day of my life because I think of her every second I breathe. Thank you.
Where is the justice? The Attorney General wants to say another few words.
Representative Quinn reminded me of something when he was up here, and since I've got force multipliers and I see reporters out there scribbling furiously and I see some cameras back here, I was shocked to learn how many people did not know this fact. Most people think that you have a constitutional right to a bond, and you do. What they don't know is in the 1990s we amended our Constitution so that if you commit a violent offense, you are not entitled to a bond. You can get a bond, but you are not entitled to one. And it was amazing how many magistrates and attorneys and lay persons did not know that. So what I'm telling you today is that if you go to court and you're in victims advocacy, or if you know a family that's going to a bond hearing, or if you know anyone in the prosecution or law enforcement community, let them know. Spread the word. If you're a reporter, Google it. Article 1, Section 15 of South Carolina's Constitution. You are not entitled to a bond if you've been charged with a violent offense. And we need to get the word out. Our office has drafted a memorandum that's going to be distributed statewide to every prosecution and law enforcement agency so that they can go in there and read word for word on the record, so that when that judge makes a decision to put someone on bond, which they have every right to make that decision, they're going to make that decision with the full knowledge the person standing before them is not entitled to it. I just also want to thank these other folks representing victims who lost their lives standing. You're not up here, but your signs are screaming very loudly, so thank you for being out here today.
On a final note, I want to thank every one of you for being here. I thank the families for being here. We can't tell you enough how sorry we are for your loss and for the injuries that your family sustained. we'll never feel your pain, and we apologize for what's happened and for what our justice system is doing to you. But know that we are here for you. We are listening. We hear you. We want justice too. We're going to work hard for you. Representative Quinn said it, and I said it the other night. If you were listening to me on TV, I'm watching you, judges. I'm going to see what you're doing, and when you come up for reappointment, I'm going to look at what you've done.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop today. It's not going to stop today. It's not going to stop tomorrow. It's going to be every day. I'm going to watch you. So I hope that today, what we've done today, I wish, the weather had been better, but thank you, God, you didn't let it rain anymore. I know God watches down on us, and you see that it's not raining right now, so things did slack up a little bit. So just know that what you learned today, take it with you, spread the news, and keep coming back. And every time we have something, be there. If you hear something that you want us to talk about, call Representative Quinn, call me, call the Attorney General. We are here for you. We work for you. So we are here for you. Thank you so much for being here, and God bless every one of you. That was the wrong button.
It's got a siren on it.
Let's get it, man. Turn it on. Turn it on. All right. Serve justice.
Come on. Umbrella. Huh? Hey, we get the bullhorn, get it bad.
I got to hold up, Dave. I'm going to start pushing stuff up. Start racking it up.
That's the leader of a family, and he's the survivor. The mother's the comfort. And she keeps the bond together too. But where's the dad?
Hey, judges, there's too many victims without justice. Get on the stick. If we need more jails, let's use money to build more if we need to. We pay enough taxes. Let's get it done.